I recently acquired 2 generators, and anytime you have 2 of something, you can't help but put them head to head. So let's compare these two. Hello my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering Adventures. Well, today I got something a little bit different here. I have 2 generators that I have been fortunate enough to acquire in the last couple of weeks, sort of through some different circumstances, but I figured since I have both of them here, I'd kind of show you the strengths and weaknesses of the 2 of them, just in case you're considering buying a generator. The reason that I have both of these generators is that, well, here, let me take you on a little quick stroll over here. I don't know, if you watch my videos, you may have seen I used to have a Class A RV. I didn't show much of it on my channel, but we recently changed up and we got this travel trailer. It is a 20-foot toy hauler, and maybe I'll do some videos on it. But this is a very basic, simple toy hauler, nothing extravagant, and it doesn't come with an onboard generator, but it did have the larger of these 2 generators over here attached to it when I purchased it. So it was nice. You know, the previous owner had included a generator with it, and I will go over the one that was on there, and that was this one right here. This is a Predator 8750 peak watt, 7,000 running watt generator. This thing is very large, very powerful, and very heavy. Let's see, 236 pounds net weight, including gas. Now this thing would run probably 2 small RVs or a small house. It's a very highly rated generator. This thing sells on the Harbor Freight website. I just looked before this. It sells for $620, and if you know anything about Harbor Freight, they always have coupons. So I imagine that the sale or coupon price on this is probably around $5.99. So let's just put it at about $600. And I like the fact that I had a generator, but I didn't like the fact that it was going to have that much weight on the tongue of the trailer, and this is a noisy generator as well. So in my quest to improve the trailer a little bit, I located yesterday this Harbor Freight Predator 3500 inverter generator. Now this has less than half the output of the big one. 3500 is the peak watts, just like that one. 8750 is the peak watts. So this one is running wattage of 3,000. So less than half of that one there. And but the positives on it is that this one is less than half the weight. This one weighs, according to the brochures, 99 pounds, ready to go. And even though the wheels are not the most amazing, it comes with some wheels. This one does not come with wheels. I have put it on a little rolling cart that I have so that I can move it around. This one does not come with a battery from the factory. That's an option. I added that. It's a motorcycle battery. This one does come with a battery. This one is significantly quieter. And this one also has a lot of neat features on it. This one has an hour meter, and it shows you your output, you know, your wattage and that sort of thing. And let's see. One thing I don't like about this one is it has an odd DC output little plug right there. There's probably a cord that's supposed to come with it. I didn't get it. I bought this thing used. This one, on the other hand, has a, looks like a regular, like cigarette lighter type. So you just plug a phone charger in there. And this one has two 20 amp circuits, and then these larger circuits here. This one's a 240 volt. I imagine maybe you could even run a welder off of this one. But I'm probably just going to start them both up so you can kind of hear the difference in how loud they are. I mean, I'm not going to go over Ohm's law and all that stuff. We're just going to go off the numbers. I mean, you're obviously a much larger generator as far as output, but these little 3500s get rated really well. And since it's an inverter generator, this puts out, here's my air quotes, clean electricity. So you could power electronics straight from this one. This one is not recommended to do so. I'm not an electrician, but I sort of understand the whole concept of how that works. But if you are an electrician, feel free to comment below and school me on how all that works. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to set up my camera. And when they test these things, they're tested at decibels. This one is, say, 60 and that one is 70 or whatever, but they test them at a certain distance. And I'm not going to do the sound meter, any of that. What I will do is I'll put my top of the line camera stand that far away, and we'll start them separately, and I'll run it for 15 seconds, and I'll run that one for 15 seconds, and you'll be able to see the difference, or hear the difference. The 8750, starting it right now. It's very loud! Okay, we're going to start the Predator 3500. Before I start it, I'm going to mention one thing that the 3500 has, and it's a setting called, I believe it's called Eco Throttle, which actually throttles this thing down if you're not drawing a lot of amps. Like, let's say I have it hooked up to the generator, or to the RV, I mean, and I'm not running a high load, such as not running the air conditioner. It will run at partial throttle, which uses way less fuel and also is much quieter. I've turned it this way so the exhaust is pointing back, just like that one. I'll actually push it back so it's even with that one. And let's start this one. I'm going to run it for a few seconds, and then I'll turn it to Eco Throttle. That's at full throttle right now. Considerably quieter, I hope you can tell. And we'll do Eco Throttle right now. So that's at the partial throttle setting. And I'm not watching the video, so I don't know what the audio sounds like, but I know that I can actually hear myself talking on this side of the camera. I can't recall if I mentioned it, but these Predator generators, the 3500s, they sell for $7.99 on a daily basis, and I believe they go on sale for $7.49 during Father's Day, Black Friday, Christmas, whenever they have the Harbor Freight sales. If you've been to Harbor Freight, you know how those things work. Both of these pull start very easily. Neither one seems like it pull starts harder than the other one. And the nice thing about these generators are that you can link similar generators together. There are what is called parallel outlets. It's on this one, and I don't think you can parallel a non-inverter generator, but for an inverter generator you can. So if you wanted to get this much output but remain quiet, you could get two of these generators and link the two together, and then you would have 6,000 running watts and 7,000 peak, which still would not quite equal that one. It should be much quieter. So this is not a very technical test, and there's lots of tests out there on these. I just happen to have the two of them here right now. I'm actually selling that one to recoup a little bit of the cost on this one, which I purchased used. And they have very good resale. This one, like I said, it's $620 new, and I'm not selling it for quite that much, but I feel like I'm getting a good amount back. And this one, $7.99 new. I did not pay that, but I paid more than, let's say more than half for it, and it has 56 hours on it. The nice thing also is that this one is going to take up less space on the tongue of my trailer, and also I can take it places. That one, not so much. I wouldn't want to burden my trophy wife with helping me lift it, so I'd have to ask the neighbor or a buddy of mine to help me try to get it in the back of the truck. This one, 100 pounds, not something I want to lift every day, but I can lift 100 pounds into the back of the truck and then out, and we can take it camping when we go like tent camping. Just nice to have. This one, not so much. But if you lose power, this one is going to help power a lot of your house, whereas this one, you could probably keep the refrigerator going so you don't lose all your steak and that sort of thing. But you're not going to run a whole lot more than a refrigerator and maybe a couple of light bulbs. So, like I said, not a really crazy technical comparison of the two, but I had these two, and they're both priced close enough that if you see one for sale, maybe you'd consider buying one. But the big thing is to know your needs. For us, the RV has a 1350 BTU air conditioner, and the 3500 should run that no problem. I've heard of people running it on the 2200 Hondas, but you have to install a what's called a soft start, because the initial start is what draws a whole lot of amps. Just keeping them running, it draws some, but you need to have enough to get it going. So the 3500 will definitely do that, and well, we'll see. I haven't camped with it yet, but when we do, I'll give you a report. All right, like I said, a little different comparison. These two are not even in the same ballpark, but I've had them, so there you go. All right, if you're digging what I'm putting out, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and if you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. Thank you very much for watching. Get out there and find your adventure. Adios.